Welcome to day 292 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we would have watched the highest grossing film of September 2018, which was The Nun, but since none of us wanted to see that, we watched Maze Runner: The Death Cure, which was the highest grossing film of January of this year. So, better late than never.
We didn't want nothing to do with that.
Oh,
I stole that joke. I can't take credit for it.
you
There's a
did.
video. I forgot what the exact title, but it's something like if you type in like "The Nun sucks" on YouTube, you'll find it. And yeah,
Oh.
it's something like "The Nun, everything wrong with like modern horror" or something. It's a good video if you want to see like that. Anyway, but yeah, so we finished out the better Hunger Games.
Yeah. They did not do the like last book two movie bullshit. They actually did everything in one movie.
Which is really surprising, and I'm very thankful for that because that was such a stupid thing.
Like
I mean,
honestly,
for Harry Potter, I guess it made sense because it would have been really long, but
this made sense for Maze Runner
Yeah.
because it kept the right amount of tension and it kept everything that it needed to. It didn't like have any random bullshit happen.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to think, like literally, how would they have split this into two movies? Like, there is not enough to do at all.
Like, what would we do? Like, follow Brenda in the bus for like 20 extra minutes or
Yeah,
something?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but well, we didn't do that, so yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement. It seems that this is better than the Scorch Trials.
Yes.
Do you think it's better than the first one?
I feel like the first one still seems better in my mind. I guess because this one still, while it was better than the second one, I feel like I understood the world better in the first one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because that was my.
Yeah.
That's, honestly, this is my main problem: is that there's still like a lot of things that we don't understand. Mostly stuff from the first movie. Basically,
Yeah.
just like what the hell were they in the maze for? What were like the creatures there? Like, what was the point? And like, I think there was something really briefly here where someone says like, you know, oh, they were like put in the maze to test them, and that how somehow that was connected to like them like generating like the cure in their blood, but like it's really quickly said and like really vaguely, so don't really follow that.
Like, beyond the
It's
actual.
like, how does A go from like A to 27 or something?
Yeah, it feels like we're missing several steps in there as to really understanding like what the hell were they in there for, what was the point.
Yeah.
And
Like, basically, anything outside the maze is really sketchy
yeah,
in terms of, like, explanation and justification and how it ties together.
it feels like the first
feels-
movie is just like really disconnected from these other two.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
it almost feels like the first movie is its own it's its own thing, and then 2 and 3 are its own story, basically.
Yeah, and
How
like
did that even happen, though?
yeah, well, let me check. Like, were these maybe written like a bit apart? I don't know.
I feel like you checked last time.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure the ending for Maze Runner, the novel, was the same as the movie that we saw.
Let's see. Yeah, no, they were just all written a year apart. I feel like, I don't know, maybe he just like, because honestly, the first movie, one of the best things about that first movie is it does handle like the mystery element really well.
Yeah.
And so maybe he just, because I've heard that before, that like it is a lot harder to write like a very satisfying like conclusion and reveal to like a mystery than like the actual mystery itself.
Yeah.
So that maybe that's kind of, he just like had the idea of like that first movie in terms of the setting and the plot and kind of teasing the outside world, and then he was like, shit, now what, you know? And so I don't know,
Yeah.
right? And so yeah, like again, it's not bad, like none of this is bad, but it's just, it does feel kind of weird that like stuff that seems super important from the first movie about like, oh, how does this work and why is this, and it's like not touched upon like at all.
No. Especially when you learn, I think in the second movie it got dropped that there are multiple mazes.
Right.
Yes. Is that brought up, like, super in depth, or no? I don't remember.
Not
I
really.
guess another thing that I'm also confused about is in the second and third movie, it's very evident that there's no, like, weird, like, population disparity and stuff. So then why was it in the first movie that only guys were sent to that maze?
Yeah, well, because also even then you could think, oh, well, it's a maze thing. But then I remember in the second movie that like there was other mazes where there was the kids there that were like fine. There was a fine ratio. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of, and I feel like this is more of a problem with like the book, right? Because it's like they kind of
Yeah.
have to keep this in terms of the story for the movie. So I feel like the movie kind of probably, especially for this movie, it probably like kind of did the best it could have, just kind of based on
Yeah.
the book. So
Yeah.
yeah. So like I can't really, because honestly, the movie itself is like it does everything like decent
Yeah.
pretty well. I mean, I wouldn't say that,
Yeah.
again. I kind of said this before. I think I said this before, some, but maybe like there isn't anything that's like amazing in it. This is kind of like standard good. I see. But yeah, it doesn't. So I kind of feel about this like about how I did with like the comparison that I was thinking was like Dark Knight Rises, where like overall most things are
yeah.
pretty solid, but there's just a few like weird plot things in it, and there's like kind of bring it down a bit, and then there's also like there's not much in it that I can point to that's like amazing. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm placing it in my head. So it's still pretty good, but not like something super special. But hey, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So I'll take
mean, like,
it.
the
You know,
Hunger
Hunger
Games?
Games?
Oh yeah, because here's the thing with Hunger Games is like again, yes, I love Sora.
Hi, Sora.
Like okay,
So,
so yes, like we all have our own specific opinions about it, but like I think we all agree to at least some extent that the worst Hunger Games part was the last movie,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So at least the beginning was like all hope was not gone, right, from the first movie, right? You know what I mean? And so the fact that it just got worse as it went on is just like, oh man. So like this, at least you're like, okay,
It was pretty.
It was like a U, a very shallow U.
yeah, because again, Scorched Trials
Yeah.
wasn't even that bad. It was just not as good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. So I'll take it basically. Again, considering we thought this would to begin with would be a lot worse than it wasn't. So
Yeah.
again, there's a lot of like specific character, or not a character, but like kind of plot moments where I'm just like, how do I feel about that? But again, like, kind of like as a whole, again, I just kind of felt like it was all pretty decent. Again, besides some of like the world issues that kind of bleed over from the source material. So,
Yeah.
kind of how I see it.
Yeah. I don't think I really have anything else to add.
Yeah, it's kind of standard decent movie. I mean, again, if you were interested in it and you were like, how does it end? Well, here you go. It's not Hunger Games. Doesn't completely disappoint you. So, yeah. I feel like we're like running out of things to say. We're so close to the end, and we're just like,
It's like, oh, it was good. Oh, it was bad.
yeah,
The end.
yeah. Well, like,
We had more to say about the Meg.
yeah, we did. So, because the Meg was kind of weird, and the fact that it was okay, where this is just like it's decent, which
Yeah,
okay.
we kind of expected it to be decent.
Yeah, because we saw, at least I saw that like the Scorched Trials one was like, I saw people saying that it was the one that was like the worst of the three. So
Mhm.
yeah, so this is like,
Definitely agree with that.
yeah, so it's a decent movie. Kind of it, I guess. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about because there was something where like I thought they were implying one thing and then it turned out it was not. So when they get Teresa and they're like interrogating her or whatever, or no, right after that, and then she like asks like Thomas like about Brenda and like, when's the last time you like gave her the blood or whatever, right? And she was kind of saying like, wait, this shouldn't work, right? That whole thing, right?
Mhm.
I thought the implication was that like it wasn't like, how do I explain this? It wasn't that he was giving her blood, but I thought it was like that they were saying like, oh, they've been like having sex and like that was like giving it.
Oh.
Because like I don't know, it's what I thought they were talking about. I was just like, because like that kind of makes sense, right?
That would make sense.
So, it ruins the whole, I guess the whole plot thing with his blood. But I was just like, wait a minute, is that what they're implying? Like, it's because, there's the whole, relationship drama, which I'm kind of glad they, didn't really do anything with that.
No.
So,
in general, these books are not very romantic-centric.
no, which is fine.
Which is
Yeah.
another thing I'm happy
It's
about.
a nice relief.
Yeah. I'm still like,
YA bullshit.
yeah. Although that said, I don't know, the fact that they, killed Teresa, right at the end feels a little cheap.
Yeah, I didn't. That was probably the one thing I was like, really? You kept her alive all this time only for her to go down with the building?
Literally the last moment, yeah, I was like, But, yeah.
If you were gonna kill her, you could have killed her like when you killed Newt, right?
Or, a bunch of other times, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it does make me kind of wonder, it's like, well, wait, so they're, some other place, right? Across the
Yeah.
ocean, fucking the Caribbean, they're gonna meet Jack Sparrow, I don't know, whatever. But, so what, is, everyone else just totally fucked still? Because, the city's fucked, and, they still have the cure with, him, and so it's, so is everyone else just literally gonna get infected and die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. It's a different interpretation of Noah's Ark, I guess.
Oh my god, don't remind me of that movie.
I know, oh, that discussion, went up a bit ago, a few
I
days
think
ago.
that's why I remembered it.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, that fucking movie. God damn.
God damn.
Jeez, okay. Well, it wasn't that. What if Noah's Ark was, got attacked by the Meg?
The Meg is like, yo, I also need to be saved too,
Yeah.
No,
see, that was why he went extinct, because he, was in the boat, but then he, tried to attack Noah, and it was like, fuck this boy, and, kicked him out, and then, I don't know, whatever.
Oh my god.
And then he drowned.
Into the deepest trench.
Yeah, I don't, look, okay, you're trying to justify what tiny little bit of quote-unquote science they had in the Meg with the fucking story of Noah's Ark. It doesn't work very well.
The Meg meets the Bible.
Yes.
Awesome.
If you throw in 2012 in there. I
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
what would happen.
Awesome. Oh yeah, because those were called arcs, and the
Yeah.
kid was Noah, and that was.
Oh
the
yeah, I
thing.
forgot the kid was named Noah.
Oh yeah.
How did you
I only
remember
remember that because I felt like, wow, they're really slapping us in the face with this, aren't they?
I literally didn't even notice until I remember. I remember, I think you
remember
brought it up, but
the fact that they were saving the African animals.
oh yeah,
That landed in Africa.
which was fine, yeah. Oh well, but yeah. So we have this movie, which is all right, and
Yep.
we're going on to oh boy. Next movie is one that people have opinions on. They're usually not good ones.
I feel like I'm not going to be able to watch half of it because, this particular character I find kind of freaky.
You're not the only one who finds that character freaky.
I mean, I do, but in a good way. So I don't know.
Have fun!
My hope is that it's how I thought the Meg would be.
Stupidly bad.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's just appreciate the fact that this movie did not let us down.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Well, the next one, I would say that it could let us down, but we don't have very high expectations, so
No.
if it does still let us down, then that's really sad.
That's really bad.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, bye.